that, oh, subsidy is gone. And I want us to please listen to this well. You have to understand, as a lawmaker, trained as a lawmaker, never to be a lawbreaker. In the 2023 budget, subsidy ended May 31st. By June 1st, there was no provision for subsidy in the budget. And asking the president to keep the pay for subsidy when there was no budgetary provision for that would have been illegal. As I said, we are not here on the popularity contest.
Please, we are out of time. Let's listen to the minister so that we can conclude quickly. Go ahead. Order, please.
And number two is the fact that I always say this, for this government, we should be judged by where we were May 28, 2023. And I'll say this, do I believe that the expenditure of this government is in the right direction in terms of infrastructure? I sincerely believe this government is putting a lot into infrastructure. And I'll say this once again. I sincerely believe that the economy is not stupid. We have accumulated wrong choices over the years that is being corrected. For us, we can sit and analyze, but the simple truth is when you consider the depth of the ditch as when this government came on board, then the only thing to be done is to increase productivity. Of course, there's only one way when you are done, is to increase productivity, increase production, spend yourself out of recession. And when we moved from 83 to 96% in terms of debt servicing in 1 year, if we had not taken some of these decisions, perhaps we'll have been going over 100 and something percent for debt servicing in 2022. So for me, as lawyers, you are trained. I'm not a lawyer, I've never been one. I hope I'll be one in the future, but of course, I'm not one now. And you are trained to deal with facts, not emotions. The difference, what distinguishes you as lawyers from me is because you are more knowledgeable in terms of fact than me. Sure. I deserve 2 minutes. No, I deserve 2 minutes. So I think for lawyers, I will want you to not just rely on some of these emotions. Let's look at facts. Let's look at where we were. And let's look at where we are going to. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
inflation because it is an erosion of value had happened. And so it was 9%. And then you move from 9% to 22%, which was what Buhari left. And then you go from 22% to as much as 33%. No matter how right the economic direction is, the fact that these consequences that could have been managed differently by virtue of how to do reforms did not happen, means that there is an accountability that is necessary on the part of the government.
Look,
and for the poor,
job for me is out of
and for the poor, no, let me land on this. For the poor, the worst thing you can do to them is inflation. They have no buffer. The poor don't have a buffer. You see all these ones, they have buffer. All those lawyers' fees that you people charge, you have buffer, but the poor don't. So when inflation comes, what does it do? Pass through. It hits them so badly. That is why the most important role of any central bank is this management of inflation. And what is it that is driving it? You're talking about us as a one commodity-based economy. And it is that same commodity that suffered that impact of a good reform, but done in the wrong way.
Look, when Dr. Oby is talking, the tough job is how to cut in, because you always make sense. I'm now...
You represent the heartbeat of professionalism in our country, in any society. I think it's important that we don't laugh through the conditions that we find ourselves as a people. You're the best of minds. Anyone who is able to train and become a lawyer in Nigeria represents the elite of our society. What's going on is an abandonment of responsibility by the elite of our country. The truth is, the people of this country, the larger population of the poor, are almost trapped in intractable poverty. Some 133 million are perniciously in that state of poverty. One thing that is fundamental are the choices that we make as a people. And guess what? The lawyers determining the rule of law of this society and what is rewarded, what is punished, at the heart of it. The question that I hope your conference this year would force each of you to ask is, should there be an evaluation of what our profession has done to provide the necessary guardrails for the behavior of our political class? Would we be found to have done right by Nigerians? If the answer is no, then I hope that this particular year's conference will be an opportunity to say, enough. We've got to get this country to the place where something is happening behind me. What is happening behind me? Okay. All right, please give me, I'm going to be through. It has to be that you recognize, please, just one more minute. It's not to be that we, as the privileged class, for as long as you're educated, you're a privileged class. We need to understand that this society lays prostrate for the poor right now. Some 133 million of them. That a distorted incentive society is making it impossible for them to actually have a quality of life that is close enough to just being normal. And therefore, I am praying that as a legal profession, you can agree that there is serious discussions that are making it difficult for incentives to align in the direction where hard work is rewarded. This country has to go back to rewarding hard work. This idea that politics is the pathway to becoming wealthy is an anomaly. Any profession that is rewarding this kind of prebendalist behavior cannot be a profession that cares about tomorrow. But I do know that I know some of you, and you're some of the best minds that we have in this society. So, stop trading this profession. Stop giving this profession over to a bunch of lousy politicians that want to destroy generations here and unborn. Don't invite me again. Even if you invite me, I may not come again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen.